Whenever you're ready. Kieran, 3 tries, a very useful contribution in Bradford's progression into the next round of the Challenge Cup.
Yeah, we set as aims in pre-season. To be fair, we were saying that we wanted to do well during like a good cup run, and we know that John likes something like that, and we all bought into it. And I think it's something that we wanted to put a statement on. To be fair, I think the first half London came out like an house on fire, and we had to gather our thoughts at half time. But after a good chat at half time, we thought to ourselves, right, let's stick to a simple game plan, and we'll do this. Yeah.
It's fair to say a game of 2 hours effectively, inconsistency in that first half, second half clean sheet, and those 22 answered points.
Yeah, definitely. Credit to London, honestly. They came out like an house on fire. And we stood back, to be fair, as defence went up to scratch, and as attack were a bit slimy at times, with too many drop balls. But after a good chat at half time, we took a step back to take 2 steps forward, and I think that's what we achieved in the second half, and it made the fans happy.
How important was that defensive display in that second half? Because London, you know, barrage after barrage of London attack. I think you held up Jordan Williams, and then Reece Kieran held up over the line.
Yeah, I think it showed massively. Like you saw, we got 2 penalties on their line. We could have easily took 2, but Deck stood up and said we'll have a crack at them because we're back as defence. We had a good 2 week of you could basically call it a mini pre-season. You know, we out a game. You know, credit to S&C staff, John, Dunners. You know, we all knuckled down. We set ourselves a target of making sure that we have a good cup run, and it started today.
That left edge with yourself, Sam Scott, and of course Ryan Miller, a lot of potency and attacking prowess there. Are you happy with that partnership?
Yeah, mate, happy as Larry. You know, it's still progressing. We're only a few weeks into the season. I think we've got a good combination, communication, and we're all working effectively now, and hopefully this is just start of things to come.
How tough was the past 2 weeks? Obviously no game against Barrow, but you know what happened last Monday against Lee. Does it feel like the wrongs of that have been righted this afternoon?
Yeah, definitely. You know, we looked at what we needed to do during the 2 weeks off, and we executed that in the second half. I'd like to say we did 25% of that in the first half, but on our behalf it wasn't good enough. So to see that good of a step in the second half, it went real well, yeah.
And do you think, Neil, that perhaps you found that consistency as a team now to take it forward
into
your league games?
No, definitely, I agree with that. I think we've got Batley next week, is that right? You know, Batley are a great side. They're always looking at that top 4 and pushing forward for other teams as well. So we know we've got a tough opposition against them. We saw them in pre-season, so we know a few of their players already. So I think it's something that we need to take forward into next week and take the confidence from today as well.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a sort of hot and cold start, hasn't it? You've had spells when
teams
are very good and times when it's really dropped off.
Sorry. Yeah. It's one of them. It's everything's like you could class it as a turbulent season all the time. Last year with COVID, but this year I think it's building on each and every week. It's still the start of the season. You know, we've got so many new players here. It's making sure that we all gel together, we get the right combinations, and I can feel that it's starting to work after a great second half performance today.
And yourself, I think it's 7 tries now. So.
Oh, I don't like to count, mate. Like to stay humble. You know, credit to forwards, credit to Deck, credit to everyone who drives us forward.
I was going to say, when you've got someone like Deck creating those sort of things, that must be great.
Yeah. Well, you could see on that third try, that kick over the top, he's gone over to the far side. I had a little feeling that if I just get that little quick nod over, that he knows what I'm thinking.
Gill, how many tries got?
Came well, so yeah, I'm happy with that.
So you're building that understanding.
Yeah, and then you've got likes of Dan Fleming up middle. Killing it, but no, enjoyed it, mate. Yeah, great second half performance, and hopefully enjoy it bus back.
Cheers.
Brilliant.